Welcome online, ladies and gentlemen. We're just setting up today for our live streaming onto YouTube and social media. As you've joined us in the Zoom room, please type in exactly where you're watching us from. We're going to put a quick timer on, and that's your opportunity to make sure that all your group are on. You don't want to miss some of what we're going to cover today. Alrighty, if you've just joined us, ladies and gentlemen, perhaps you don't speak fluent English. With that in mind, today we have closed captions on YouTube and for the playback and here in the Zoom room. Have a quick listen to this before we start.
Por favor, vaya a la parte inferior de la pantalla en Zoom o YouTube y haga clic en subtítulos para leer en español.
Kérlek menjünk képernyő aljára, a Zoomon vagy a YouTube-on, a closed caption részre, és ott el tudod olvasni magyarul a feliratot.
Silakan klik di layar bawah pada Zoom atau YouTube dan klik caption untuk membaca dalam bahasa Indonesia.
Pour les sous-titres en français, veuillez cliquer au bas de votre écran Zoom ou YouTube sur CC ou Closed Captions.
Zoom または YouTube の画面の下部に移動し、字幕をクリックして日本語で読んでください。
請到屏幕底部點閱隱藏字幕以閱讀中文。
Παρακαλώ πηγαίνετε στο κάτω μέρος της οθόνης, στο Zoom ή στο YouTube και κάντε κλικ στους υπότιτλους για να τα διαβάσετε στα ελληνικά.
請到屏幕底部點擊隱藏字幕以閱讀中文.
אנא עברו לתחתית המסך בזום וביוטיוב ולחצו על תרגום לכתוביות בעברית.
Proszę zejść na dół ekranu na Zoomie lub YouTubie i kliknąć napisy, żeby przeczytać po polsku.
Alrighty, welcome. Let me set my language to English for those people who are listening or reading along. Welcome online, ladies and gentlemen. What a week! I literally had myself pop riveted to the seat here for the entire Neumi week, hardly left my chair, said so much value, so many sessions, so much that we got to learn in the last week. It was phenomenal. And it's the first time I've ever gone in a progressive meeting like that over an entire week, but the amount of content and the feedback we had is phenomenal. So if you got a lot out of that session, type in the chat, what's the biggest thing that you got out of the sessions that we ran? I can see people are online from Louisiana, from New Zealand, Georgia, Las Vegas, Canada, Toronto, Western Australia, New Zealand, Canada, Ontario, Colorado, more Ontario, South Carolina, Illinois, New Zealand, and everywhere you can see. It's fantastic. Brilliant. So welcome online, ladies and gentlemen. I've got a amazing session lined up for you today, and this will be played back on YouTube, and you're going to make sure that anyone in your team missed it's going to have to replay it because they're going to kick themselves if they don't. But we're going to cover off lots of things today. You're going to find out today what you can and cannot say regarding our hair product. You're going to hear from some testimonials that'll blow your mind. We're going to talk about the social media challenge and some of the things that people have already learned from that. And it's going to be an action-packed session. With that in mind, I want to kick off by handing you to our Vice President of Sales, Sergio Delamora. Over to you, buddy.
Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. We are just coming off, as Michael said, what we called Neumi Week, and it was a success. I think now I've been telling all of the other executives at Neumi that we have set a new standard. I know the content was great. We spent a lot of dedication and worked along with the field as well to get everything ready and take advantage of that Oxano challenge as well to learn some new ways to use social media. So I don't want to take too much time today because we have a lot of good things planned for you. But at the same time, I want to send out a special invitation. Some of you that were on Neumi Week may have seen that we're revamping a lot of the PRP program. And we have a special training next week that's going to be happening. So corporate always presents on the first week of the month, but we don't want to wait until the first weekend of August. So we're going to invite you to mark your calendars for next Members Night on the 30th. And join us because we're going to talk a lot more in depth into what the new ERP program is all about. Some really enhancements is what it is. So please join us because you'll expect some special guests from corporate as well. So we'll see you then. I want to take a moment just to remind all of you that we have now launched the Neumi Hair, and I have really good news. I know it's starting to ship here in the United States. I know it's going to Canada next week. We anticipate that it's going to be shipping locally in Europe, and the product is on its way to Mexico as well, so to be shipped shortly. So what does that mean? That you can take advantage of the promos we introduced. Do you recall the promo? So we have a special launch promo for that product, and you can get a launch pack. This launch pack will include a bottle of Neuro, a bottle of NutriSwish, and a bottle of Neumi Skin. You'll get 2 Neumi Hair for $150. So take advantage of it. That's just a launch special pack. So you can really take advantage of it till the end of July. Now, that's not all. As we're kicking off with this new wonderful product, which we're going to see a lot of testimonials, I'm sure, in the next upcoming weeks, and many information to be shared from the field to corporate on their experience with this product. I'm really particularly happy to see this new member of our product line. So keep us informed, and we look forward to catching up and hearing new stories about how this product is going to benefit you. But the additional promotion that we introduced, and this one goes to the 31st of August, so a little bit more time. It's a very simple way to really grasp it and know how it's going to work. So if you get an auto ship set up from now until the end of August, I'm sorry, you will have a special intro discount. So it's only for auto ship. The easiest way to think about it is a price protection. So if I get a bottle on my auto ship, as soon as it ships, you'll get that for $25. Now, keep in mind that this, even though you add it to your auto ship, doesn't mean that you can go back in and place an order, because in the system, it's going to show the regular price. But if you add it to your auto ship, it'll be $25. We have a limit of up to 3. And please do know that in some cases where some of the accounts have been able to add more than 3, we are going through those, and we're going to do a manual cleanup. So it's a limit of 3 per account, and you can take advantage of that beyond August, as long as you maintain your auto ship active. So that's a way for us to say thank you and to also help you promote this wonderful product. So $25 per bottle on auto ship. So if you add it, you have it from now until the end of August to add it. So you have plenty of time. I would recommend doing it now so that you don't wait till the last minute. And as long as you maintain the auto ship active, you'll have that special discount, okay? Just a quick announcement. Aaron and Ryan are actually going to be heading over to Mexico this weekend. We're continuing a post Neumi tour excitement, but this was already in the plan. We have the Americas tour where we're teaming up with some of the field leaders here in the Americas. So we still have a few meetings to go to. We'll have Mexico City this coming Saturday with Juanita Santillán, a double diamond. We'll also have Dr. Juan Maceda that will be there. And we'll also have a second meeting on Sunday in Guanajuato, León, where Lorena Ramirez, one of our diamonds in Mexico, will be leading that with support from Dr. Cristal. And Aaron and Ryan will be at those meetings. I can tell you that the space is pretty much almost filled up on Eventbrite, but if you still would like to get someone invited to that, all you need to do is go to the Eventbrite site, the same site you used to reserve your tickets for Neumi Week, and you can still get some people in. So Mexico City this weekend on Saturday, and on Sunday they'll be in León, Guanajuato. Well, my friends, I won't take any more of your precious time today, because I look forward to hear what's going to be shared. But please do mark your calendars and join us this upcoming Wednesday, a week from now, so that we can talk all about PRP. And just as quick reminder, here in Utah, where the headquarters are for Neumi, it's a state holiday tomorrow, so our office will be closed, but we'll be back in action on Friday, ready to support you in any way we can. And I kind of want to share one more exciting element, but I'm going to hold off until next week. But all I can tell you is that you're going to have something introduced probably next Wednesday at the same time that's going to help you have all the up-to-date information here at Neumi. Thank you very much, everybody. Have a great day, and thanks for the energy and your support with Neumi Week. Back to you, Michael.
Beautiful, Sergio. And if anyone out there's had a dog before and you go, hey, taste this, and then you take it out of their mouth and how disappointed the dog looks, that was me when he just said, oh, I'm going to tell you something, but I'll tell you next week. Right? So I wanted to hear what that was right now. Anyway, guys, we've got an action-packed day today, and we all know that our product is amazing for wellness, yeah? But we've got to be very careful. We don't align ourselves with any medical conditions or disease references, or we can all have a very short life with Neumi that gets shut down. So we don't do that. But sometimes there are very safe testimonials, and they're sports performance testimonials. So we've been doing a lot of work behind the scenes with some of the groups, and you wouldn't have known this until we're at this very moment. But I want to share a little video I did with someone last night. We've got a number of the Australia, New Zealand groups involved in something relating to sports testimonials. And as a result, everyone worldwide, a rising tide floats all boats. Everyone's going to see these testimonials now and have access to them. So I want to play a quick interview that I had to do with Clint Slomp last night, simply because right this very moment, he is dropping his children at school, and I wanted to respect that. So let's have a quick listen to this. Get a pen and paper out, because you're going to be blown away with what you're actually going to hear right now. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, today what we're going to be doing is talking to a friend of mine, Clint Slomp from Perth. Now, Clint and I have known each other for, I think, maybe 12 years. We met in the past when we were both looking into a glutathione precursor product, which was great in its day. Old technology now, outdated and quite expensive by comparison. And it was interesting because Clint had joined Neumi a while back, started using the product himself, and then only recently decided to engage. And Clint has a heap of athletes that he coaches from a running perspective. So what I'd love to do first, Clint, is maybe just introduce you, and if you could just share your background with everyone so they can understand, you know, what does it mean being a running coach and how many people you're working with. Tell us a bit about that.
Hey, so yeah, I'm over here in Perth, West Australia, loving the sunshine, and yeah, been taking glutathione product for about 12 years. Been on Neumi for about 4 years, which has been great. But then recently got more involved with sharing it with a lot of the people I coach. So I work as a personal trainer in a gym, in a boxing gym by day, and I also have my own business as a running coach. So I've got about 20 people that I coach at the moment, ranging from beginners, you know, running little 5K events, up to just had a couple of people over in Wales for the World Trail Running Championship. So, yeah, it's been really great with them and sharing it with them people at the moment, and got lots of people who are really keen to hear what's going on with this product, and it's booming at the moment. Yeah, loving it.
Beautiful. And, you know, they say success breeds success. I'm going to show you some testimonials from Clint's group of runners that's just started. We've only been doing this for about 4 weeks, but it's spawned into lots of other people around the world as well, which is amazing. So first off, I'm just going to show you guys the first testimonial that we received. This is Brad Robinson from Western Australia, who's one of the runners in Clint's group. And he said, I've been using NutraSwish for the past 2 weeks, gradually increasing my dosage as recommended for endurance athletes. That's what I recommended. And then what I've noticed is been really positive. Improved energy levels during sessions, quick recovery, reduced fatigue after long runs. And the one standout was a 15-kilometer trail run where he felt noticeably stronger on the hills, breathing far easier than usual. And then one standout, and then despite that, running 400 meters longer than his previous trial, and still managed to take 7 minutes off his overall time. So real signs that the product's supporting his performance, and looking forward to seeing how it continues, because we're going to continue this trial with him as well. So with that in mind, what have you got to add as a coach of what you've seen when it comes to Brad?
Well, Brad actually got in trouble for doing that because he was meant to be recovering from a 60-kilometer run he did the week before, meant to be going out for an easy jog on the weekend, and yeah, bloody absolutely smashed it. He's like, I didn't even feel like I was working hard. So yeah, it was really good feedback about the product. It wasn't probably the best thing as a coach to hear, but it was just amazing that he was able to do that. But he also works as a CEO of a mining company over here, and he's actually given me a lot more feedback recently that the mental clarity he has at work, he says he's just killing it in life at the moment. And he's just, absolutely loving the product. And he's actually getting a bit cocky at the moment because he keeps teaming up to have a bit of a race. So, yeah, we're pushing each other along and really enjoying it.
That's awesome. You know, it's funny. We had a glutathione, a power lifter on a glutathione precursor years ago, and then he was in his 50s. He busted all these world records, and I showed this to Clint's athletes. And then in his 60s, we gave him this new delivery method with the same ingredients and said, I wonder what the difference would be. And of course, at 62, he smashed every world record, proving categorically that it's the delivery method, not just what the ingredient is. Now, with that in mind, we then had some more feedback. So after Brad, we then had Matt. Now, Matt's from Perth as well. And he said, I'm gearing up for the 40-kilometer run at Transcend. And since Friday, I've been consistently swishing as I've started using the product. I'm feeling good overall and have recently felt a noticeable boost in both my energy and mental clarity. After a few weeks of lower intensity training due to some knee discomfort, that's now thankfully settled. I've begun to ramp things up again and timing feels right. More feedback to come. And again, he's also on the program, but can you shed some more light on where things are at as well as a coach from his perspective?
Yeah, so Matt recently ran his first ever marathon, which is actually on the trails down in Margaret River, beautiful place in the world. But since then, he's sort of been struggling with a bit of a knee injury, and it actually come to the point where a few weeks ago, we're actually discussing whether or not he could do this upcoming race at Transcend, which is the 40-kilometer race. Since then, we've got him on the product, and he's back into full training, and he can't wait for the race now. He's jumping out of his skin, and his wife has been noticing how much better he's been lately with just doing stuff around the house, and she recently jumped on the product as well, and she had a few medical issues she's been dealing with, and she's noticed some really good results with that. So it's some more exciting news out of that. And his wife.
It's a spin-off, isn't it? So, and I should say that too, guys, we're showing you here testimonials from sports performance. We've got, elite athletes getting better results, busting world records. We've got everyday runners getting better results. But, health and wellness relies on glutathione levels, and hence Matt's wife is a good example of people can get extra benefits, not just going out and busting world record or running your best. Now, I wanted to get wanted to get Clint on today for this reason, because Clint saw what happened with the first couple of people that were coming through the program, and then he'd been just using a normal serving of the product, and I'd been encouraging them to increase their serving size and see how it went. So share with us what aha moment happened for you.
So basically every Wednesday I do like a killer leg session in the gym, like an hour and 15. I'm lifting 80 kilo squats for 5 sets of 5, 100 kilo deadlifts. Like I'm smashing my body, like my calves are falling off my skin by the time I finish the session. And then later that night, I might go for like a little, 20 minutes or a little 5K jog or something. But then I'm training for another event called High Rocks, where I've got to learn to run on tired legs. So I thought I've got to really, test myself running at a decent pace on tired legs. So went out later that night and thought, all these other people have been double dosing. I'm going to give it a go. So had a double dose of Swish, loaded up before I went, and went out, and I actually ran my fastest 10-kilometer run in 6 years. So back in 2019, when I was 40, I'm now 46, and I'm just smashed my second fastest time, fastest time ever, fastest time in 6 years, and second fastest time all time. So absolutely amazed by that, and I'm going to be loading right up for my upcoming events in a few weeks' time. Can't wait.
Beautiful. And we're going to get a lot more feedback, guys, so stay tuned. And if you go to the Neumi New You group, so Neumi New You, that is the official Facebook group that the company puts all their testimonials in, and that's where you'll see these ones. But I want to show you some more because, like I said, success breeds success. And of course, people started to hear around Australia and New Zealand about these results that Clint was getting. And here is some others. This is a gentleman from Sydney, Dane. He said, and it was interesting because I asked him, how's your results going on the running? Look at this. Didn't notice a major shift in my energy from a sports perspective, although in hindsight, I may not have been taking the optimal amount. He wasn't taking much. That changed after returning from Europe, feeling quite tired. I now increased to 4 servings a day, and the difference has been remarkable. My energy levels are through the roof, significantly improved. I'm noticeably more productive and mentally alert. And of course, we heard that a second ago as well when Brad being a CEO. After 26 hours of travel, and I can say jet lag is not fun, but I can tell you from my perspective, every time I travel internationally, I use this product and it helps smash that out. He arrived home at 8 p.m. on Sunday and was up at 3:30 the next morning to train before work, and he powered through the entire day with sustained energy and minimal jet lag. And of course, that spun on to this example, which is someone else from Western Australia, Sky. And she said she's been using NutraSwish for 10 days and the difference has been remarkable. Her training sessions feel stronger than ever. I've increased all my lifts this week. Recovery between workouts has been noticeably improved, and even being hit with a bug last week, my bounce back was incredibly fast. Because if you don't know this, ladies and gentlemen, your T cells and B cells in your body, they are replenished with glutathione to then go fight a virus. I'm not suggesting we're treating, curing, or preventing anything, but your body with optimal levels of glutathione means T cells and B cells high levels of glutathione, feeling great. They go there, they fight the virus, they win. If you have low levels of glutathione, you have sluggish T cells and B cells, and then sometimes the virus wins you. Okay, so let's take another look, because that spun off again to someone else as well. And this is actually Andre, all the way over the Dutch, as our Kiwi friends say. He says, I've been using Neumi for 2 weeks now, and the difference has been remarkable. I've noticed clear lift in both my energy and performance. My rides are feeling stronger, more consistent, and Strava took notice. And for those people who don't know, Strava is an app that will tell you how you're performing. And he said, epic long ride with a power boost. You crushed your average watts and maintained faster than usual speed. That's from the app telling him that's the statistics that actually happened. NutraSwitch is now a non-negotiable part of his daily routine, not missing a day without the product. That led us to this gentleman in New Zealand, and this is Logan. And Logan is a cyclocross and mountain bike athlete. And he says, I've been using Neumi products for just over a week now. Initially, I didn't notice anything major, no highs, no lows, but by the weekend, things started to shift. I had 2 standout training sessions where I noticeably felt stronger. And this is something I had to go Google, because I didn't understand it, because I'm not in the same place as Clint. But he said my RPE, and I've gone, what's that? Rate of perceived exertion, as measured by my app, was significantly lower despite maintaining the same output of power. So the race coming up this Sunday, he's increasing his product and he's going to report back as well. So guys, as you can see with just those, and ask the person who invited you to send the video through about Bill Gillespie, who broke all the world records at 62 years of age, thanks to the product. And you'll see this graph, normal use of glutathione. Oh yeah, hit a peak, and then boom, straight through the roof when he got onto this product. So thank you for joining us, guys. I hope you find interest in this, and get back to the person that sent you this video for more information. Alrighty, so I love sharing that because, as I said, testimonials that are sports performance related are safe, right? We're not making a medical claim. And so when an athlete who's already doing well does even better, that validates that someone who just needs general wellness, this product's going to work great for them. So it's a very safe way of building a business. So with that in mind, now what we're going to do is we're going to segue through to our other new products. And of course, over the weekend, I cannot wait. And I saw a comment in there from Phoebe, when they said, you can get the hair product for $25 on auto ship. And she's like, we don't have it in, which we don't. We don't have it in Australia, New Zealand, or Asia yet. Stay tuned. Yet is all I'm going to say. But I have been given the definite answer is yes from corporate, that when we do bring that product into Australia, New Zealand, and Asia, we too will all get the special, put it on auto ship special price advantage. So don't feel like you're going to miss out. Okay. So it's going to be phenomenal. Now, with that in mind, what I've loved doing as we've grown this business, you can't be over everything. And I observe different groups, different leaders that are leading the charge with certain projects we're doing. And Rhonda Dasher, my beautiful friend for 17 years, she was at the pointy end of the spear when it comes to the hair product and testing it and all that sort of stuff. And we were chatting yesterday because we saw all these testimonials come in from Rhonda and Sherry and the people that were at the helm of that. And then I saw some testimonials coming in where people are talking about things that you just can't say with the hair product. So we thought it'd be a really good time. And I want to say before I say this, I'm not the compliance police. Neither is Rhonda. Don't shoot the messengers. All we're doing is reiterating to you the rules that we're going to abide by, and you do. And some people don't know what it is. So the company was telling us what we can say, but they didn't tell us what we couldn't say. And now we're very clear on what that is. So rather than me cover that, I'm going to bring Rhonda on to talk a little bit about that. So Rhonda, over to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Michael. Yeah, so it was very difficult and hard for me not to say some things that I saw during the test market. Unfortunately, we have to be careful and compliant, and we do that for a reason, because we're all building a legacy business. And the last thing we want is the FTC, the Federal Trade Commission, or the FDA, Food and Drug, to take us off the market. And so, what we're saying is there are some legalities, and there really are some things we can and can't say. And so we don't want to give people any kind of false hope and just say, okay, you're bald and this will make your hair grow. No, we can't say that, period, because that's not even what it does. Well, we're expecting, Michael, to see the before and after pictures, and I see people that are posting in the group, take your before picture, okay? The picture of someone you're putting on this product. When it comes to Australia, Phoebe, get your before picture. and prove. You guys want to make sure that you take your before pictures. A picture's worth 1,000 words. And what we're waiting to see is social media. And it's been such good training. If you haven't been on, Michael's going to allude to that. And last night, Sam even alluded to doing proper before and afters and saying the right things and being compliant. So everybody knows this is going on social media. And because we have such breakthrough products that do what nothing else can do, it's hard not to say what we've seen. And we get excited and I saw some things that made me say some things that now I'm like, well, maybe that's not quite compliant. So how could I say it differently? And so we're looking for a document that would help us, because when these before and after pictures start flooding the market, there's going to be testimonies. You're going to have your own testimony. Even when you're speaking to someone, you're going to be sharing your testimony. And what we can and cannot say is really important. Some things that, and this document's coming to you. So not the compliant police. I just want this product to be around. And I think this is going to be a product that if you haven't tried it, it's going to blow your mind what it can do and in supporting the hair. So we know that we can say it supports healthy hair. Okay. We're not going to say it makes your hair grow. That's a claim. Okay. If you're bald, it can't make your hair grow. So that wipes that out of the picture. Okay. If you don't have a papilla that sits inside of a bulb, no hair is coming out. So if you spray your bald head and someone tells you it makes your hair grow, you're not going to get hair. So that's wrong. And so that's the only simplest way that I can say that and what I've seen. But what we can say is it supports, and words like that are very important. And so nourishes the scalp, nourishes the follicles. Okay, nourish is a word. Everyone knows what nourish means. It gives the hair something that it doesn't have. Okay, if you don't have what you need for your hair to support healthy hair and you start spraying this product in and your hair starts getting healthy, you know that we have nourished the scalp. Okay, it's going onto the scalp, it's getting down where it needs to get to, and it's supporting that healthy hair. And if hair is healthy, guess what it does, you guys? It will grow. 30 years in the industry, this is what we've learned. So we're saying it without saying it. Okay. Also, it provides key nutrients for strong, healthy looking hair. Let me help you. If you spray this product on your hair with these key ingredients, okay, it's going to give you a strong, healthy looking hair. That is not making a claim. It is supporting, the key ingredients are supporting what we need. So we're saying what we're not saying, but we're saying it. That's called using the context to help people to come to a conclusion that we're not really saying against the FDA or the FTC or non-compliant, but they're saying to themselves. So if I want healthy looking hair, these ingredients in this product are going to give me those key ingredients to help me have stronger, healthy looking hair. Yes, it's an aha moment. One thing that we can say is it improves the appearance of fuller, healthier hair. You keep hearing me say improves the appearance, okay? We're not saying that it gives you healthier, fuller hair. That's a claim. Because if you're bald and you don't have any hair, you've got some little nubs out there that are growing, okay? And you spray it and it doesn't give you healthier looking hair, that's a lie. So it sounds simple and silly, but this is the easiest way I know to explain to you why that's making a claim, because that's not going to happen. Visibly enhances hair texture and shine. Yes, it does. And you will see this. So when you're talking about these before and after pictures, you can just do a before and after picture and say, look how it visibly enhances the texture and shine on this set of hair. And this, again, this is coming to you, so you're going to be able to see this document. Hydrates and revitalizes the scalp, helps hair look and feel thicker. I did not say makes your hair thicker. That's a claim, because I didn't see that in the study. What I did see was the appearance of healthier, fuller hair. So I don't know how you could say it makes the hair thicker, because that means more hair would have to grow out. But if there's not a papilla and a bulb, no hair can grow there. So I'm going to keep going back to this because I want you to understand when you're making these posts and you're putting these before and afters that flood the market and this product explodes, that we're walking people into an expected end. We don't want to give false advertisement, and we want to make sure we manage people's expectations. We don't want the product to say, oh, it does this and then it did it, and then we get a bad name on this product, because I've seen what this product can do. Supports healthy scalp, which is a better environment for healthy looking hair. We've got people that have scalp issues. Now, I can't name those scalp issues. They know it. And so when you're spraying this on, we know it's going in, but on and in is best. Now, you can't say promotes hair growth. That is going to be a claim that's going to be too close for comfort. So when you're putting it out there and you're telling people, hey, this is going to promote hair growth, here's one, regrows hair. No, it doesn't really do that. Okay. What about treats hair loss? No, we don't diagnose, treat, or cure anything. Stimulates new hair follicles. It supports some of those activities, but we can't say stimulates because that's making a claim. Okay. Lastly, we don't want to get into drug claiming territories unless we are an FDA product. And you guys know that we're not. We're a nutraceutical company that gives products that help aid the body in doing what the body needs to do. If the hair is growing out of your scalp and it's just not strong and it's breaking off, this product will help to aid in healthier looking and fuller appearing hair. Now, it sounds silly and you have to kind of listen to how you're doing it. And when you're playing around with your before and afters and your posts and you're looking at what it looks like, you know, just compliance is already going to be following these. When these before and afters in 30 days hit the market, you don't need to wait to learn this. It's like if we know this now and we start seeing, I dropped some pictures in the Neumi New You group so you could have some before and afters to grab and take and use on your own. Just be compliant in what you're saying, that we're setting people up with the right expectations. We're not promising them something that we're not going to deliver, and that we don't get in trouble. And this product has to come off the market, because I've seen what this product can do for women and men, just like me, just like maybe you, who are struggling with their hair and they've seen results. And we don't want to lose this before it ever explodes. And I believe this is going to be an explosion product. So I'm not the compliant police. I just, as a hairdresser, have waited for a product that could offer and deliver. And I feel like I have something in my hands. I put my name behind it, and I don't want to see it abused. I don't want to see it have to be left. And I want to see people get disappointed and put out. I want to see the success rate. And if if you've got fine thinning hair and you get the appearance of fuller hair, that's a big deal to someone that has fine thinning hair. So Michael, I'm like you. I just want to make sure that we are compliant and that the testimonies are going to come and people are going to understand, and people are going to be sharing these, are going to go crazy when the European market gets it. And so it's going to be fun to see, and you're going to get to be an eyewitness, and we just want to do it the right way. So thank you so much.
Beautiful. Thank you, Rhonda. And thank you from all of us for spending so much time as a hairdresser in that space with the knowledge, and then getting so many before and after testimonials. So guys, I'm going to go and show you in the group, the Neumi New You group. And if you don't know, it's funny, yesterday I realized that some people, I was blown away. There was a couple of leaders in the team that weren't even in these groups. I'm like, what? This is the core company group. So there's one for prospecting, which is the Neumi New You group we're looking at right now. And then there's a Neumi member group. Make sure you're in both, because Neumi New You is for prospects. Neumi members is where we put things like this recording once it's finished and all the training, etc. So when you go through here now, you're going to see a more well-rounded approach, because here's some before and after photographs that have gone into the competition, by the way. Every week we're drawing a winner. Guess what? If you send your compliant testimonial to compliance@neumi.com and it's not put in here, you're not in the competition. Oh, hang on. Yeah, because we're only doing prize draws for people using the company tools, not your own Facebook groups. That's great if you want to put them there, but if you're going to go in the competition, you need to put them in the central one. The question's been asked, can I share this testimonial? Yes, any testimonial that goes in Neumi New is pre-authorized that everyone can share it. You don't have to ask the person and go, oh, Unique Bonnie, can I share your test? No, yeah, you can. Copy, paste, go, right? Now, you notice she just says, thank you, Neumi, and you can see it's the before and after photograph. That's great. She didn't make a claim, all good. You got some amazing ones in here, right? This is just blows my mind that Joe can actually support himself like that. But anyway, and it's not photoshopped. I spoke to him. Some amazing before and after photos. But when you get down there, we're doing the testimonial competition. There's well-rounded testimonials in there now. Some spectacular before and after photographs there. Look at that one. But eventually we get into these ones from Rhonda and Sherry. Now, they've said Neumi Hair 30 days before and after spraying twice a day. All they've said is the facts, right? They haven't made any claims. And then all these sports testimonials I mentioned to you, they're all in there, right? More hair, right? Amazing. This guy, by the way, Richard, if you're playing this back, Sergio, this is the winner of this week's prize draw testimonial, which was a random drawing, but it's a great story if you want to go read it. And as you go through, you can see people from all over the world, before and after photographs on hair, etc. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Now, please, just know that I'm not the person approving, disapproving. Compliance is approving. If you put your testimonial in here and it hasn't been approved in a few days, don't come to me. Just be patient. If you put your testimonial in here and it's not compliant, compliance will tell you. They will send you back a message saying, hey, take this word out, take that word out. You can't say this, you can't say that, reword this. And basically there's so many. There's Clint from today with his testimonial, and there's so many testimonials galore. It's lit up. What we would love to see is the second wave of testimonials this week. So the prize draw for today has happened, but there is going to be more prize draws as we move forward. And you can see this is an amazing hub of testimonials galore of all sorts of backgrounds. I could keep going, but there's so many, right? So please go into the Neumi New You group. Now, I want to say one thing that the compliance did tell me. Now, Rhonda and Sherry were in the first trial. They just said, Neumi Hair 30 days before and after, right? If you're putting your testimonial in there, please do put some context, because if you just put a hair photograph in there that shows semi-bald and lots of hair, people will make assumptions if you don't put context of wording. And what will happen is someone will take that photograph with no wording and go, check this guy's hair regrowth out. No, 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 you can't say that. So take the exact wording and don't change anything and post that testimonial. So if Rhonda and Sherry just said before and after 30 days, they're the words you're going to use. You're not going to add your own context of, wow, look how much hair regrowth happened. Or, wow, look at this guy's hair that went from, gray to black. And on that note, I just want to throw a funny story in here. Over the years, some people have said, oh my God, when I've used this, this product on my hair color come back. I've said, you can't say that. And they're like, but that's what happened. I'm like, well, and then one day someone said to me, hey, Steve Scott, I was online, I was watching Steve, and look at the color in his beard. And I said, look, I don't want to burst your bubble because I've known Steve for 17 years. It's called Just for Men. Read it on, guys. Sorry to burst your bubble, right? But can glutathione help the body do some amazing things that it couldn't do without, and maybe could be some changes? Yes. So Steve's words were this, and this is out of Steve Scott's mouth. He said, look, if a before and after photograph gives an unexpected outcome in the photo, as long as it's not in the claim or written, I'm okay with that, right? Because you're not, like Rhonda said, you're not making a claim, you're just showing a photograph, and you're writing in context things that are okay to be said and so forth, all right? So, yes, and if you noticed that I had a little bit more grey here on the video last night, maybe it's just for men. Right, moving on. So what else did I want to cover? We've covered the winner. So the winner was, I'll just go back and get his name. So Sergio, can we get some products? It was a essentials kit sent out to the following name. Richard, I can't pronounce it. Right. That's the winner from somewhere in Europe, I'm sure. Now, we're going to talk about the final thing before we finish this, the social media challenge, which is on right now. Oh my God. I've been saying for years, two things. If you look at when I launched Neumi to what I post today, you'll see very different things. I played the curiosity game at the start for at least a few months before we launched Neumi. Why? Curiosity attracts, selling is repelling. So I didn't go Neumi, 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 Neumi. Instead, I had all these curiosity-based posts at the start. So I said, and Sam said this, don't follow what I'm doing and blindly think every post I put up is what you should copy. And definitely don't copy an influencer. Please hear me loud and clear. Because if someone goes, hops on with a bottle and does a dance and says, you're going to buy this, but they've got 100,000 followers, they will sell product. But if you have 300 followers, you will not, and you'll piss off 298 of your friends, right? So there's a good way of doing it and a bad way of doing it. And we're also blessed that we have the social media challenge. So a couple of people online who I've known for years had some aha moments. And so I'm going to start, if I can get Susan Lazenby. Susan, you said you had some aha moments that came to you during the Neumi week. What were they about?
Hello, everybody. Michael, the aha moment for me was in that very first session with Sam. There were aha moments all the way through, but that particular one is when she said she had coined the word humanology. And it really impressed me because we've got all this technology. We've got AI, we've got Canva, we've got social media, all those sort of things. It's very easy to be in contact with people globally. But the thing that really works with every single person is relationship building, is making those connections. And that often is face-to-face and personal. And so as much as we have this technology, let's not step away from that relationship building and that contact and that person-to-person thing. That was the thing that really got to me in that particular first session.
Beautiful. Now, we had the session yesterday.
Yes.
And so you've talked about relationships and that sort of stuff. Was there any other aha moments from yesterday's first session?
Oh, yes, absolutely. I love, because I'm an English teacher, I love symbols and metaphors and similes and analogies. It's just the way my brain works. And Sam used one again, and she spoke about the forest. And that we, when we're on social media, we have this clearing in the middle, which is us and what we want. And then around us is this big forest. And all the people that we know are hidden in the forest. They're like little animals. Not that they are animals, but she used the analogy of animals. And that getting people into the clearing is about creating curiosity, about creating intrigue, not throwing the food at them as they put their little snouts out through the trees. And I absolutely love that. And that to me was a very big lesson.
Beautiful, beautiful. Great lessons. Now, similarly across the ditch into New Zealand, Prue, I jokingly say that with their accents and everything, Prue also got a lot out of it. So Prue, do you want to unmute and just share what aha moments you had as well?
Yeah, cool. Hey, yeah, and I love that forest analogy too that Susan was just talking about. It was so interesting. Hey, what I found was, well, not interesting, but Sam reinforced a lot of what the social media training is in the back office, especially around the 80-20 rule. And that is have most of your posts on social media. And this is what Sam said, social media is meant to be social. So make it about social things. And then the other 20% is where you are, maybe talking about Neumi or something, something else. So keep that sort of 80-20 rule. And be real and authentic. And Susan also touched on this, but about it's so easy these days to turn to AI. And Sam, I can't remember the actual percentage, but Sam just said there's some really high percentage of posts out there now on, say, Facebook that are just straight from AI and don't have any personal input whatsoever. And she suggested more like write a post and put it into AI to get it tweaked, to maybe make it just a bit more fun, or check the grammar if you need that, that sort of thing. Or get something off AI, but then put in your personal take on it as well. So it's not, sometimes you can look at something and you go, oh, that's straight from AI, you can kind of tell. But if you use it correctly, it can be an amazing tool to help us with social media. And another really interesting thing that Sam was talking about was how a lot of posts, people look at a lot of posts, but they don't necessarily interact with them or like them. So you don't actually see that they have looked at them. But a lot of people are actually looking in the background, and you might think that you're putting up all these posts and nobody's ever interacting, but then all of a sudden, out of the woodwork comes somebody who's actually been watching you well, she mentioned one where somebody had been watching somebody for a couple of years, and so you just never know. And I actually really like stories for that. I've just been playing around with stories recently with the help of Michael. And where stories is really interesting is that they only stay up for 24 hours, but you can actually, before that 24-hour period is up, you can actually go on your story and you can see who's been watching it. And it doesn't mean to say they've liked it or anything like that, but you can actually see who's watching it, and it's really interesting because I did that, and I've seen 2 or 3 people who have never liked a post at all, but I'm going, now that's really interesting. And so I'll be just sort of watching what they do and potentially reaching out to them for Neumi, because they were both Neumi posts. Other areas that she talked about was the algorithms that's a big word, algorithms that Facebook use, and I'm sure she'll be covering more on this about how to use those algorithms in our favor, because if we do the wrong things, our posts can go to the bottom and just don't get seen by many people. And one thing she mentioned there was having like your individual link on a Facebook page, and she mentioned that Facebook don't like that because it's taking you off Facebook, and they want to keep you on Facebook for as long as possible. So that's something where the algorithm will come in and it kind of puts your post sort of out the back door, so you don't see it. And just one other thing was she mentioned conversational posts are really liked on Facebook. And Michael was talking about this with the testimonies, where you put a post up and somebody makes a comment, and then it's really important to go back and comment on that, and then and it keeps the conversation going, and it keeps it up in the algorithms so more people see it. And once somebody's commented on a post, other people comment as well. So nobody wants to be the first person to post a comment because they think, ooh, maybe I'm saying the wrong thing, or something like that. So just really excited to see where this training goes. It's fantastic. Sam's she's a wee gem. She's really relatable and just sort of so open. So I think we're all just going to be social media legends by the time we're finished. It's really exciting.
Beautiful. Great feedback. Now, for those that haven't jumped on the social media challenge, it's not too late. In the chat, I've just put a link. That link, you must click there. If someone, I just make a quick point. Sam said this, some of the people in the training yesterday went and sent the Facebook group to their people. No one will get let in. Nobody. You have to send them this link in the chat to enroll, which gets them to enroll with Auxano. Then Auxano will send them a link that says go join the social media group, and only those names that align with what's enrolled will be allowed in. Why? That's to stop people who are finding it online that are not part of Neumi trying to leverage off our training when they're not actually with the company. Okay, so it's important. That link in the chat, click that one, which is the Auxano/global Neumi thingy. So make sure you click that link, get it out to your group. And so the first session's happened, but it plays back in the social media page. So with that in mind, I'm just going to hop in here for a quick second. So this is the social media group that you'd be in, right? Once you're in there, and all the things to do are all explained, so you can scroll through all of that, right? Plenty of helpful information in there. I want to show you this. So, oops, wrong page. Where are we? Here it is. So I didn't want to do this morning, I'll be honest, but I figure, I can't say do what I don't do. She wanted us to put up a post today. She gave us some suggestions. She said, ask a question, and there's all of that's in the social media group. So what I did was I took a photograph with a fat lip, a sad-looking thing, saying, has anyone else had an injury that stopped them doing what they want to do? My fat lip tells anything. Now, why am I showing this to you? Everyone started interacting. It's conversational. I didn't realize that one of my friends here had actually done an injury. I wouldn't have known that. I haven't spoken to him for years, and he interacted on the post. This highlights what she said, right? Lots of people in there. This lady up the top here, Sari, didn't realize she'd had a car accident. Made mine seem stupid because my problem was what? I've just used too much product, gone to the gym, pushed it out really well, and then rotor cuff. Relate to that, Rhonda? I pushed it too hard, too fast, too much energy, and the body is 57, the brain is not, right? So, but again, that's a real post and lots of interaction. I want to show you something that I highlighted, which just hits home so much what she says, and check this out. If this doesn't get you to realize stop spamming Neumi, nothing will, right? Check this out. And I showed this to James Lewis this morning because he was asking a question, right? So that one's, 22 comments after about an hour. It's going pretty crazy. Now, I posted yesterday the new video, right? And 11 people interacted. Guess what? They are all Neumi members. There's no prospects there. The prospects don't care, right? So that's why I said don't copy everything I do, because I was doing that to get the new video out there as a Neumi crown, but I wasn't using it from a prospecting perspective. I wanted you all to know the video's out there. That's all I did it for. But I want to scroll down. So there's only a little amount of post interactions there, right? Let me show you the most interacted post that I've had in the last little while, and it'll blow your mind. It has nothing to do with Neumi. And when I saw it, I was blown away. So this thing, I literally out my window here, I looked up and gone, holy crap. There's an aircraft carrier in Australia. What's going on here? Why do I show this to you? 3,500 likes, 282 shares. Holy crap. I wasn't selling anything. Selling is repelling. I was going, wow, there's an aircraft carrier out my window. Nothing to worry about here. And people I don't even know, shared it right across Australia because it wasn't selling. So everything she says about engaging with questions and interactive posts of things that are interesting is what she's hitting home, and that's the point. So as we wrap up, I can just say one more time, if you haven't yet joined the Oxano Social Media Challenge for Neumi, you're nuts. Do it. Like I said, I am very busy today. I got a lot on my plate and I didn't have a lot of time to interact on social media, but I had to do my first post, which was the challenge for the first day. And you can see immediately, it's already had 22 people interact in an hour, that Sam knows her stuff. It works. Take her advice. It's all very clearly spelt out in that challenge, and we want everyone to take advantage of it. And I think it was Prue said this, in a month from now, we're all going to be social media experts, and we won't be the Neumi spammers, and we'll be giving the brand name a great first impression. We won't be making non-compliant posts about our social media, will we? Thanks to what we did from Rhonda. We've got amazing before and after photographs. We've got social sports testimonials coming up the wazoo. So please go right now, if you haven't done it, join the social media challenge. And if you have not posted your personal testimonial into the Neumi New You group for the competition, please do it immediately as soon as you get off this call. We would love to see it in there because we need to do draw number 2 next week. And a rising tide floats all boats. So more sports ones in there, more sports people will add theirs. More hair ones, more hair people will add theirs. More people with wellness, more will add theirs. More making claims on medical diseases, what have you, more people getting booted from the group. Just joking. Right? We're not going to be doing that, right? We're going to keep it all very clean and pure. So thank you for attending today. I hope you got a lot out of it. And remember, next week, the PRP, don't miss it. And the week after that, Dr. Jonathan Glass is going to be on the members night as well. So don't miss that one either. So we'll see you all on the next one. All the best. Bye.